Greetings and salutations, listener. It is I, Eric J. Chuckie, joined as always by my fellow music aficionado, The Boy.
Hey.
This is the Two Nerds Podcast. Before we get into the nitty-gritty, it would be awesome if you would follow the links in the description to check out Boy and I's Twitter, check out Super Blizzard Shining Wazato songs, especially Let's Get Hardcore, that's our theme music. And he does games like Joy Lancer and shit. All kinds of updates coming to that, by the way. And if you want to buy my books, that'd be pretty hot of you, too. This week we are discussing something that I've been wanting to do for a while, but we wanted a graceful way to do it. And I think we finally came up with something. Also, we just haven't seen Ant-Man yet, so...
Look, other things happened, okay? Don't judge us.
Well, it's been hard to get all three of us to the theater. Brandy's pretty psyched about seeing it, too, so... But video game music. Many moons ago, before we were even casting pods, the Boy and I had a discussion about how I thought video game music wasn't as good as it used to be. And you rebutted something like, fuck you, Grognard.
I rebutted something along the lines of, it's not that it's not as good as it used to be, it's that video games have so many more things in their toolbox now that the music doesn't have to stand out as hard as it used to, so it can afford to fade into the background and buoy up the story or the gameplay rather than being a big, giant section of what you remember about the game.
Which is probably true. I will still say that I prefer it the other way, but and I think a lot of places can find harmony. My thoughts on Dragon Age Inquisition, for example, cite that fact exactly. But we were looking back and forth. We were like, oh, should we do like a top 10 list? Man, we don't like doing top 10 lists so much on here. Should we do like
despite the fact that we've done quite a few of them.
Well, it seems like the more we do them, the less we have fun with them. But eventually I had an idea, and Boy seemed to be pretty cool with it, that we would just look back through our careers as gamers, the 30 years of gaming, that I've accomplished. You, not so much, but there's an age difference between us. What do you want?
There's not even that much of an age difference, and I played a lot of those games that are higher up on the list, too. It's just when you ask me to think of the music, and this is actually one of the things that's funny about your old Grognardy argument, is that when you ask me to think of music that's really, really iconic for me in terms of video games, I mean, aside from the very, very obvious stuff from way back in the day, it's mostly stuff from when I was 10, 11, 12. It's mostly stuff from then, which is, the early 2000s. So it's not that we have that much of it. It's not like you're, 46 or something.
No. I'm not even actually 30 yet, but...
It's just that between the two of us, you prefer older school chiptunes games, thus the older school music resonates with you more.
Right. When the composers were really trying to make something that you could enjoy listening to because you kind of had to.
Because it's basically all you're going to fucking hear.
Whereas now it's more like cinematic underscoring.
It's a lot of cinematic underscoring, which allows for very interestingly low-key music.
Yeah.
And that allows for some very odd and specific choices, which I like. And for me, it makes the standout pieces stand out all the more. Because there is music that just sort of fades into the background, so when you get that piece that really sticks with you, it sticks with you for a reason.
I would agree entirely. So that being said, let's get right into it. If everything goes according to plan, you guys should be hearing music here as well, so this took me a lot of time to edit, and I hope you enjoy. Our first song is kind of a dummy thing. Now, we're going in chronological order of the game's release, not necessarily when we played it, but that was the sanest option.
Trust us. We looked the other way. You want it this way.
Yeah. It would be idiotic not to make the first entry in a video game music chronology the theme from Super Mario Bros., the Overworld.
And I think everyone understands why. I mean...
How many of you were humming along with that,
And even with the few seconds we can get away with without YouTube coming and taking a hammer to our door and smashing up our computer, it's video games. That music is video games. You can take people in like villages who've never seen a TV, and there's an off chance that if you play them that song, they'll go Mario.
I remember Mario. I don't know why I went Deckard Cain there.
Well, because
Mario, sit a while, listen.
You think like village that's never had a TV, Deckard Cain from Diablo. Yeah, he never had a TV.
I guess he fucking didn't. Yeah, I mean. Yeah, there needs no explanation. There's not a lot of explanation needed for the next one either. It's one of the most just amazing triumphs in music history, and if I were a smarter man, I would have listed all the trivia I wanted to include for some of these songs. But go to VG Facts if you really care that much, or look it up on Wikipedia or something. But this next track, which is the intro from The Legend of Zelda, they originally wanted to use something by Ennio Morricone, but could not get the licensing. So they went to the composer and they were like, dude, we need a song like Yesterday. And he was like, I got you, bro. And then came up with this shit like in a couple of hours.
And that was a couple of hours well fucking spent.
Yeah, I mean, just like, it's amazing.
And besides that, much like the Mario song, although the Mario song for me is always going to be a little, I don't want to say campier, but like more like, hey, Mario's here.
Well, I think it's Mario music in general is kind of like, hey, aren't we all having fun?
Yeah, however, this is a good fucking song.
Yeah, well, and that's something I always thought was really interesting, and what I like about there being actual chiptune artists nowadays, outside of the video game world, I should say, is that there is the things they can accomplish with these blips and bloops, this 8 bits of music processing power, and the cool ass, catchy ass songs they can make with it, like that Legend of Zelda track, like a couple of tracks we have coming up from the 8-bit era. That was 1986. Our song there. 1985 was Super Mario Brothers. In case you didn't know, and you might not. We're gonna roll into 1987 with something that played in my house for hours on end. I think you didn't fall victim to this one. No. So this would be the original Final Fantasy battle scene theme. Not my favorite battle music from Final Fantasy, but like we said, this isn't a list of favorites necessarily. It's what reminds us of the game and the hours I spent grinding in that game.
Because a couple of these songs are my favorite. Are also happen to be my favorite song from the game.
Sure,
but for some of these songs, it's way more about what, when listening back to the soundtrack of a song, because I did that for a couple of these games, made me go, that's the game. That is the game. That is the thing that makes me think that's that game.
Yeah. And that battle theme was just, and it set the stage for every other battle theme after that for Final Fantasy. So it's just like, I can't even think of the words. It's historic. It's weird to be talking about video games and be like, it's historic. I feel like
But they're fucking old, dude.
Well, yeah. I mean, shit.
That song is older than me.
That song is older than you. Oh, shit. Let's roll to 1988 here. It was another song that's older than you?
Yeah, 1989 is when I was born.
1989.
So back to 88.
Yeah, back to 88. Back to the Super Mario Brothers, actually, or Doki Doki Panic if you prefer. This is the Super Mario Brothers 2 Overworld theme. And a lot of the tracks on here as well are going to stick in our heads a little more because of the variety of music parody artists on the internet now. Specifically, Brental Floss Like, I wanted to include DuckTales in this list because I did play a lot of DuckTales when I was a kid, but I didn't remember the Moon track until Brental Floss made his song, and I was like, "Oh shit, I remember all of this." So I don't think that counts. But Super Mario Brothers 2 theme, man, I ran around the house singing that shit.
And like that, and a bunch of other geek music stuff has really. Actually, we'll be getting to it soon, so I'll save that for when we get there. Go ahead with the next one.
All right. Well, actually, this one is more from your past. I played this game, never beat it. My dad and I had some fun with it, but that was about the end of it for me.
All right. Yeah, this was my jam. More than Super Mario Brothers. I actually beat this before I ever beat Super Mario Brothers.
Without the code, right?
Without the Konami code. Contra.
The Stage 1 theme, that's 1988 as well.
Jungle theme, if you want to get technical.
Oh, I apologize. Which, I mean, like, you have to be like, oh, that snippet, that's not enough of the song. There's, like, so many good parts of that song.
There are so many good parts. Actually, you want to know a fun story? I beat that game without the Konami code. You know who did first?
Who?
My oldest sister.
Oh, right on.
She crushed that game in, like, an afternoon.
You know, and that's,
She destroyed that fucking thing. It was the most impressive thing I've seen in a long time.
I think that's why the upsurge in quote-unquote girl gamers has been, you know, a thing, like, that is remarkable, because this is the generation that are finally adults of the people that were, like, you know, women who were like, oh, yeah, I want to try this cool game, or, yeah, this is fun, whatever, this is my childhood. So now they're passing those same ideals on their kids, and like, oh man, you know, my sister crushed it at Contra. That sort of mentality is like regular now.
Yeah.
Like, kids these days are like, man, my sister beat Pokemon Y before me. I can't believe that. She spoiled the ending and everything.
Well, I was just more impressed. Like, Contra's fucking hard.
Oh,
dude.
it is fucking hard.
Contra's fucking difficult. It took me some time. She picked that shit up, and by the end of the day, had it crushed.
Was she like a gamer in general, or was this just like a... I want to shoot tomatoes.
I mean, when we had an NES, she kind of was.
Right.
But, like, after that, no, she started doing, like, academic stuff. She's a pediatrician now.
Yeah, she's very intelligent.
So... that was always very impressive to me.
Yeah.
I just wanted to bring it up.
Yeah, just picking up and playing. Brandy does that to me all the time. I think about it in the back of my head now, so she doesn't fool me with it as much. There are at least 5 times where time had passed between us playing fighting games, and she was like, well, I guess I'll play this fighting game. And then she schools my ass like garbage that I am.
It's just that her power level is so much higher than ours, she doesn't want to make us feel bad. Oh, scrub lords here. I'm just going to air juggle you. Is that okay? And now you're done.
Now, I don't know how old our listening audience is. I know we have some younger members. But there was kind of a phenomenon back in the day that isn't really a thing now, and I would like to talk about it for just a second before we get to the next track. Back then, whatever games you had were the games you played. Like, a lot of rental places were harder to get to, or just not feasible with your family's income, or whatever. You know, and buying new games, they were so expensive back then, and there weren't as many used game resellers and shit like that. So, if you got a crap sack of games, you learned to love that crap sack of games. And one of my crap sack games is notably the first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game on the NES. That was 1989. The game itself was not great. I'm not going to say it was bad, but it was like way challenging for the age bracket they were aiming for. And it just was not very Turtlesy. Unlike the sequels, which were just like exactly what you expected out of the Ninja Turtles games. But I never owned those. I owned this one. And I have to say, this title theme is like one of the most badass pieces of chiptune music. That and, yes, the next song are 2 of the most badass pieces of chiptune music I have ever heard. But I'll give your ears a listen.
quick side note: you'll give their ears a listen. That's
I'll give your
no,
eyes
like it's just very awkward phrasing. Anyway,
yeah, I'll let you give your ears a listen.
I suppose that extra word isn't really necessary. It could be implied.
I've said weirder shit on this podcast.
You said Prince Ayuke. Like, this is a really good song. I didn't play this fucking game at all when I was a kid. So, well, it's just like this was never a game that was anywhere near available because there was one place that would rent some video games where I grew up, and it wasn't a lot because it was actually a video rental place in a small town in eastern Kentucky. So there weren't that many video games. So, no, there are a lot of games I didn't play because they were never available, dude.
Yeah, well, that's not something that the kids these days, old man shakes fist at cloud, well, that's not something they really have to deal with, and that's awesome.
No, because they got their Steam sales and
stuff. Yeah, and they can, like, download shit on the Virtual Console. I bet you can download this game on the Virtual Console. I bet you can download the next game on the Virtual Console. And when you do, and when you start up and you look at that screen and you go, good God, 8-Bit Batman, you look like shit. Why are you purple? But then your ears will be treated to musical mastery. This is the Stage 1 theme from the NES Batman game that is 1990, and it's called Streets of Desolation. I don't know if that's a Desolation Row reference or if, like, the guy who was composing that song, or the lady, a lot of the ladies compose songs for NES games, whoever composed the song, I wonder if they were just like, let's see, I need to make this as badass as humanly fucking possible to suit Batman and his purple knickers. Like, ugh, that song, like, as much as I hate to admit it, as much as I love the animated series theme, and it is very iconic of Batman, that song always Batman for me.
I'm gonna slap you. I'm gonna slap you right in your mealy-mouthed, blaspheming face. Dude, like, I intentionally never played this game.
It was like a harder, less fun version of Ninja Gaiden.
Also, because, like, there is a commonly accepted wisdom that until Rocksteady got involved, held true. Held true like the sun rises in the fucking east holds true. Batman games suck. Until Rocksteady got a hold of them, and to date, Rocksteady's the only company that I know that's capable of it, because I haven't played Arkham Origins. Dude, Batman games are fucking terrible. They just were. Ad infinitum for time immemorial until those games. So I always avoided Batman games. Despite loving Batman, I always avoided Batman games because the few I tried all held true to that rule. I played some of, was it The Joker's Revenge or something?
Oh, God.
That was that. I played that and then a couple other Batman games and just, oh, God, no, they were all just aggressively terrible.
This was like the cream of the crap. It had the fortuity of coming in at the end of the NES's life cycle. So, they were able to do a lot more with the controls, and they were able to push the system to its limits. But, like, in terms of being a Batman game, they fucking missed the point a lot. Like, Batman had guns, and the boss of the first level was Killer Moth. But they didn't tell you this. You were just like, who's this asshole with a jetpack who's throwing bombs at me? It was a weird game. Another weird game, and probably, like, I know the boy doesn't fucking know what this is. I'm sure most of you don't fucking know what this is. If you do know what it is, please leave a comment in the comment section, because I want to hug you. That is Lock and Chase. It was a 1990 Game Boy game. It was kind of like Pac-Man, except everybody had hats, and you played as a cool criminal guy, and a bunch of cops chased you. And you still had to get dots, and there were keys, and you could, like, lock doors behind you. And, like, the longer the game went on, the more huge and complex the mazes got. And my favorite track from that game, which I played on my Game Boy, like, all the fucking time when I was in the car, like you did, like you probably still do, was this one. This is Stage 1-2. very funky. One of the few.
You know what? Yeah, I don't know if I'm fuck with this game. I've never even seen it before until we were talking about this podcast. This song's fucking good.
Yeah,
this song's got some drive. Makes you want to do stuff.
Yeah, like thwart the cops. I think you also got like a diamond at the end. But I remember beating this game. I don't remember what the hell was going on, but I remember the sensation of this was like my first really hard game that I beat.
This was your Contra?
Yeah.
And so you remembered the sensation of pure victory?
Yeah, like, I did it! I'm the master of unlocking! Man, I wish Resident Evil was on this list. That'd be a great segue. It's fucking not!
Nope!
Next is more NES goodness, another 1990 game. Boy, you have grown an appreciation for this track, divorced from the game entirely. That is the title theme from Mega Man 3.
Alright, legit. I always used to poo-poo your theory that video game music is just used to be better, and I still don't hold into it entirely, but the Mega Man music has been the single best piece of evidence you've ever whipped out for it. Because I've said it before, I will say it again, I don't actually like the gameplay of Mega Man that much. But I fucking love all Mega Man music. I don't know who is in charge of composing that shit, but it's all really good. The music itself, the actual tunes, and then of course I love the megas and what they do with that music. So yeah, I've grown to very much appreciate this song.
I'm gonna get slapped because I don't remember her name, but it's been the same woman through most of the series.
Excellent.
And now she's on Mighty Number 9 doing music.
God, that bodes well.
She had a lot of musical theories because I backed Mighty Number 9, so I got access to some behind-the-scenes stuff. Mm-hmm. I loved hearing her musical theory on what needs to make a game great, a game's music great, and it was just very enlightening, and it just really spoke to what I prefer to hear in video game music. But yeah, that was another one of those tracks where there's a lot of different cool parts to it. And I can only show you so much. But there should be annotations. I probably should have mentioned this earlier, but you got eyes. There are annotations on the screen for every one of those tracks while we're playing them. You can just click through. It'll take you to another video on YouTube of that song. So you can listen to the whole thing if you like. Sometimes you don't need to. Sometimes it's a track you spend a lot of time with. And if you graduated from the NES up to the SNES like I did, or if you were one of those guys who started out with an SNES, you probably spent a lot of time with this track. It is the castle theme from Super Mario World, also a 1990 song. I really like how foreboding it manages to be while still having what we talked about earlier, that Mario, hey, everybody's having a good time kind of vibe to it.
Yeah, I like it. And this is Super Mario Overworld. The number one on our list is Mario. But there are many other tracks in the Mario pantheon that just make me think of good times jumping on crap.
Yeah, well, and that's the hardest thing here, because we tried to avoid too much series overlap. I mean, if it's a short series or if they've got a lot of iconic tunes, that's one thing. But mostly it was what we played. Mm-hmm. And as much as I played a shit ton of Mega Man, there really wasn't any track that stood out as much as the title theme for Mega Man 3. As much as I played a lot of these Mario games, there are 3 songs I still hum in my head to this day. And that was the third one. But I forget what my point was. Did you have
I'll
something
still
else
get
to
the
say?
Underworld theme occasionally.
Yeah, no, that's true. I'm sorry. Yeah, the Mario one. We didn't want to double up on individual games. Otherwise, I would have picked a couple other songs from Mega Man 3. But
I may have actually picked some from Mega Man 2, even though I didn't play that game.
Speaking of doubling up on franchises, this next track is from Final Fantasy IV. When it was released in the US, it was Final Fantasy II. This was the 1991 SNES version. The official title of the track is Into the Darkness. It's the theme from being in a cave. I'll let you guys listen to it, and then I'll jabber. That song.
That song is that game.
And you've never even played the game?
Nope, never played that game. May have played some of it on an emulator at some point, but realistically speaking, no, never played that game. And I still, when I hear that song, that's Final Fantasy IV. I can tell you that's Final Fantasy IV.
And it's not even like one of those things where I did a role-playing campaign that ended up being Final Fantasy IV. To date, I have managed to fail at starting a Final Fantasy IV role-playing campaign 5 or 6 times.
But, yeah, no, it's not like 6. I can tell you the songs for Final Fantasy VI because I played Final Fantasy VI as a pen and paper RPG. But he played for me a bunch of the songs from the thing because he was torn and was having trouble deciding. And at the end I went, that song. That song is that game. That song is what makes me think that game.
Well, and honestly, that ends up being true for me as well, because I think it's just so different from even other music of the time. I love that intro section. If it wasn't in the clip I gave you, just click through. And it evokes a sense of wonder. It's a very fantasy song, and that's not always what you get when you're listening to a Final Fantasy's, soundtrack. You'll get Final Fantasy music, but this would fit in a. You could tell me this was from a Lord of the Rings RPG, and I'd be like, oh, okay, I can see that.
That makes sense.
Yeah. For those of you who are not so much the Nintendo children, like my wife, this track was probably more your speed. Oh, God, I didn't mean to do that. I am sorry.
No, you can't take it back.
I can't undo it.
Nope.
This episode just magically congeals on the internet, and I don't edit or anything. Fuck.
Anyway.
Sonic the Hedgehog, Green Hill Zone, or whatever the hell. Yeah, the Green Hill Zone.
You know what? Funny thing is, I never had an SNES. I went right from the NES to the Genesis, so this is my jam.
That's your jam.
More than the SNES songs we had on here just a second ago. No, this is okay. Something you should probably know about me, listener. Whenever I talk about songs, I have the very, very bad habit of singing them very briefly. I'm trying desperately not to fucking do that right now, and it makes all of my sentences come out the dumb. But it was such a fun game.
Sure.
And the only other thing from that game that makes me think Sonic more than Green Hill Zone is the drowning music, which isn't no.
Yeah, I think that was that Sonic 2?
I think so. That's not good times. That's bad times. That shit still makes me tense, okay?
Well, there's a lot of people that does that too. A lot of people we use that as an alarm.
No, I just have fuck you, I don't want to get up in a bad mood.
Right? There's a lot of other tracks from Sonic that I like, and honestly, pick one. I mean, the music composition in the first 3 Sonic games is really good. Casino Night Zone, for example, I love that. But, dude, if I were to turn on a Sonic game and it started playing the Green Hill Zone music, I'm good. I'm sold. You won. Good work. Thanks.
However, if you start rolling around at the speed of sound,
I love that song, and it's nowhere on this list for 2 reasons. 1, we avoided licensed music.
Yeah.
2, I don't like that song because of that game.
No, I like that song because it's amazing.
It's my ringtone for when Brandy calls me, and it's like the only ringtone that I've kept for more than 3 months. It's been years now. But I think, I played Sonic Generations, and it had that section in it, and I might have played a demo of the song the game it originally came from, but no, I like this song separate from the fucking game. Here's another Game Boy track. This one is from 1991, same as... No, I'm sorry, Sonic was from 1991. Final Fantasy IV, that was from 1991. This is from 1992. That's Super Mario Land 2, The 6 Golden Coins. The title of the track is Athletic. It's the song that plays in the first couple of levels that aren't part of the themed choose your level area. Yeah, give it a listen. You'll know what I'm talking about. It's got that same Mario, hey, everyone's having a good time feel to it. I picked this one because I spent a lot of time playing this game. It had a lot of really cool power-ups in it. You could eat a carrot and get bunny ears, and you could kind of float with them, kind of like the raccoon tail.
Right.
There was a world where you got real tiny, and you like went around inside tiny stuff. There was a Halloween-themed world. There was one where you went to space and like had crazy jump physics and shit. I mean, they took the Mario, the basic Mario 3 concept essentially, and really went nuts with it. And I just had a lot of fun playing it. There was one where you get to explore a giant robot Mario.
Oh, that's pretty great.
Yeah, like it's the kind of shit you're seeing in like the Mario Galaxy games where they're like, oh, what a cool idea. Shit, they did that back in Mario Land 2. Another Game Boy game I played a shit ton of, and we're swaying really far from the boys' experiences here. Don't worry, I'll get my comeuppance. Another 1992 game.
The early 2000s are coming your way, my
man.
man.
Oh, yes, they are. Kirby's Dream Land. And this is Green Greens. A lot of you guys will know that from Smash Brothers.
That's where I know it from.
Yeah. It's kind of become Kirby's anthem-ish. If I had to pick a song I liked more, I would have picked King Dedede's theme, but this is Kirby. I've fired up my Game Boy, and I'm going to try to beat Kirby again. Not a hard game to beat. I beat Kirby all the time. But I also played it a lot. I was an early Kirby fan. It led to my favorite color being pink for most of my adolescence, which had the kind of negative implications you could expect.
The kind of negative social implications that you would expect from the Midwest.
But, whatever. The game was fun. The character's cool as hell. As another series that really grew, and I really liked it a lot in the late 90s. Nowadays, not so much. So, moving from portable back to the console, still in 1992, something that I'm sure is popular with a lot of people my age, and that is the original Super Mario Kart. There are a lot of great tracks in that game. Listening to them, my brain pretended as though it was torn. Things like Rainbow Road and Bowser's Castle and the Ghost House.
I actually really like the Rainbow Road song.
Yeah, Rainbow Road songs in any Mario Kart game are really good. This one, though, man, there was like a period of about 6 months when we were at our last house where I would just walk around the house singing this tune. That's the theme from Koopa Beach.
And no shit, you want to know the reason I remember this song? Because he's not joking. He would wander around the house singing like do this tune throughout the whole day. There were times when I would hear it.
It was relaxing. It's the most relaxing ass I played the hell. Mario Kart was one of those in the SNES era for me was still that sort of you only have so much money, deal with what you have, fucker. And so I played the hell out of Mario Kart. I beat the fuck out of that game. I got the gold trophy, best times, 150cc, with my main character who was Bowser. So I beat the shit out of that game. And had a lot of fun with my friends and my brother at the time, too. He's still my brother. We had fun at the time. Yeah, moving on.
Misplaced commas.
Something else I did a lot when I was young was Mario Paint. Because I didn't have a PC until later in life. Not too much later. Mario Paint was really cool, though, because it gave you sprites to start working with. It gave you a formation. And there was also that music-making program where you could make songs and shit. This was the theme I always switched to when I was sitting around drawing or whatever. It is called Flower Garden. why it's called Flower Garden. But there you have it. And it's just a catchy little tune, something for you to listen to while you're drawing pictures.
It's a nice little number,
Yeah, I played a lot of this game. Speaking of music, as we are, and that music maker in there, one of the things I did a lot of was try to recreate like Final Fantasy songs and shit like that. Sometimes popular music tracks, but I wasn't too into pop music at the time. Another game from that same era of these are the games you have, deal with it. I liked fighting games, and I really started to get into fighting games when we got the Super Nintendo. There weren't a lot on the NES. There were a couple, but nothing great. There were some on the Genesis, but I didn't actually have a Genesis until I was like in my teens. My dad found one at a garage sale or something. He was like, "Here, have a Genesis." So when I played Sonic, it was at a friend's house. Like, it was that, like, you go over to your pal's house and he's got the latest games, the basically living ad for Sega.
Yeah. Was there, like, an adult guy who was way too into it? Like,
no,
hanging
dude
out behind
was
you guys?
fucking absentee-ass dad, alcoholic motherfucker. The kind of like, uh-oh, dad's home, I have to leave now sort of guy. But the dude always had airheads. He always let me eat the white ones. And we played Terminator and Sonic the Hedgehog. This was my Super Nintendo era. This was me playing fighting games. Yet again, my brother and I having a hell of a time. This was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Tournament Fighters. If any of you out there know what that game is, I love you. It was actually 3 different games on 3 different systems. They had it on the NES, and the Genesis, and the Super Nintendo. And they were all different, but they had the same name. This is the Super Nintendo one. This is the track for Armagon stage, which was the pirate ship. The name of the track is appropriately Pirate Ship. Have a listen. It's very Konami.
Yeah, like it feels like a fighting game track. So.
Yeah. I had forgotten how much I remembered it. Like, that was something that happened with the Ninja Turtles title theme. I don't know the guy's online handle other than his, the guy who did Unforgotten Realms. It was a Flash series on Newgrounds, back when I watched it anyway. And there was like this badass section, and I think it eventually became their title theme, but it was the dwarf character singing a song that was like supposed to be really badass. I didn't realize it at the time, but I remembered that song from somewhere. It was the title theme from the Ninja Turtles game, the original one that we did, back in the beginning of the show. The tracks from this, as I was looking back, and I was like, oh, you know what? I remember playing this game a lot. Let's see if any of that music evokes. And I'm like, this song has been in my head recently. I didn't know where it was from.
Your brain's like, oh yeah, we got this.
Yeah, we remember this shit. Oh, I love that game too. It was just the graphics were really good.
Yeah, for the era, they were actually very impressive.
Yeah, like really good. And it had really cool characters in it too. If you're into emulation or if they've got it on some virtual console somewhere, check it out. It's a pretty decent game. What are we moving into now? More fighting games. This time a Genesis one. I keep trying to get you to play this one, but you don't want to.
Yeah, that's true.
That's just a fact. Eternal Champions. This is the title theme specifically. There's a couple of tracks one could talk about being great there, but... Eternal Champions is noteworthy because I want to say the Wu-Tang Clan sampled 2 of the tracks in 2 of their songs.
To be fair, the Wu-Tang Clan samples a lot of stuff.
Yeah. But they ended up being a pretty cool song. I'm catch hell if my facts are wrong, but like I said, I didn't have a fact sheet printed out because I like to live dangerously. Hey. If I'm wrong, leave me a comment in the comment section and I'll learn. Yeah. It's the only way I'll learn.
How if you don't tell him, he won't learn nothing.
This and like the character bio, browsing music were both really good songs. A couple of the stage musics were alright. What I really liked was the cool fighters. Like, there were so many fighting games that came out that were like trying really hard to be Street Fighter.
That is so true.
And
look, they all tried to be Street Fighter or Soul Edge, which became Soul Calibur and so on and so forth. They were trying to be Street Fighter or Tekken, okay?
I mean, basically, yeah. And, I would play those, and it's like, meh. Then I would find these little gems that were doing their best to be unique. Shit like Biofreaks and stuff.
God damn, I remember Biofreaks. I had almost con my mom into letting me buy Biofreaks.
Well, yeah, because all of the ads were like, this is the bloodiest fuck game, not suitable for pussies.
But then when you play it, it's fucking ridiculous, man.
Yeah, it's whatever. I'm a Toad man, and sometimes my arm flies off. Who gives a shit? I guess parents.
One guy was basically Troglodyte from Small Soldiers. It was great.
Oh, man. Speaking of Street Fighter, I would be remiss not to include Street Fighter in this list. This is from Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. This was the game that we had on the SNES. There's more story. We'll get to that afterward. This is from one of the guys who remains one of my favorite Street Fighter characters to this fucking day. This is Ken's theme. Boy, you were watching as I was trying to decide what Street Fighter track to include, because we knew there had to be one.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a requirement. I'm not even a huge fan of Street Fighter as a franchise, but if you're going to talk video game music, if you're going to talk video games over the course of this long, Street Fighter's kind of got to be in your conversation. And no less so for us. So, yeah, I was off to the side doing my own thing, mostly listening to music for my own part of this list, when he was trying to choose this, and he was, torn between a couple different ones.
It was Ken, Chun-Li, just because she was, the first or second stage, so I heard it a lot. Guile, for obvious reasons. And I think at some point E Honda was in there.
No, it was Chun-Li, Guile, and Ken.
Yeah.
And you were you said, I want you to listen to all three, and you tell me which one feels more iconic. And I listened to all three, and I knew right from the beginning, I was like, no, I would pick Chun-Li. But at the end, I was like, so we discussed the things back and forth, and then he said, but Kendo! and my reaction was, see, I know what I'd pick, but I'm pretty sure your reaction tells us both what you should pick.
Just, man, that Capcom music, they always manage to get the really, really catchy shit. Switching from one of my mainstays in Capcom to my other mainstay in Square, and my favorite game of all time. This one is Final Fantasy VI. This is the final boss music. I don't know what part of this masterpiece I'm going to select, but here's 10 seconds for your ears. You're welcome. This is Dancing Mad. I miss my calling as a DJ.
Yeah, dude, you're the last DJ right now. You're just on late night radio.
I've been ignoring the fuck out of the years. We're sitting in 1994 right now.
Hey, you know what? We managed to get music from at least one song from every damn year from 1985 to this year.
Yes.
They can look at the fuck up.
They can check it out themselves.
Dude, this is a good fucking song. This is just a good song. This is final boss music. This is the thing that you should be hearing when you're having the epic confrontation with the asshole who's tried to ruin your life. If any of you out there have someone who you want to take out a personal vendetta against, in the official position of the Two Nerds podcast, don't do that. I don't want to be legally culpable. But privately, dude, play this music while you fuck them up.
There are so many good songs on this soundtrack.
Kefka's theme is my favorite song, but that's just because I have a very deep connection with it at this point in my life. But this is final boss music. When you say final boss music, you should probably be talking about this song.
And one might ask, well, okay, you said you liked this song better, and you said Final Fantasy 1 you had other songs you liked better, but you played the battle music because you heard it the most. Why are you picking Dancing Mad because it's just final boss music? Bitch! First of all, you have no clue how many times I've beaten Final Fantasy 6. Hint, it is a lot. Second bitch. Back when Kazaa was a thing. Back when... What was the first one with the little cat? Napster. Back when Napster was a thing.
Holy shit, you didn't remember the name Napster?
No, I just remembered the little icon. Back when that was a thing, man. One of the few songs I downloaded. To give you an idea of the era, along with Cowboy by Kid Rock.
Oh, didn't everyone? How did he make money on that song?
and something by Metallica, just to tell them to go fuck themselves.
That's pretty much obligatory.
One of the first tracks I downloaded was Dancing Mad. And then I found an orchestral version, and I was like, oh! And it took me forever to download, because this is like a 20-minute song.
And it's like a 20-minute song.
On dial-up.
On dial-up at Napster speeds. So, that was... I hope no one has a phone call today.
Oh, I got in trouble. I got in trouble for that shit. But it was worth it. And I listened to this shit constantly. And I've listened to it again and again since then, because it's good-ass music. So, after that...
to switch gears completely.
I'm going to tell a little story about this track. I have two stories to tell. I'll try to keep them brief. But this is Jungle Hijinks from Donkey Kong Country that was also 1994. So, Donkey Kong Country... I don't know if you lived through this, consciously as a gamer, but it was the hype bot for Super Nintendo. Because it had those 3D-looking graphics. You know, at the time, it was one of the most beautifully rendered games, period.
No, I think you'll find that, one, as I mentioned, I never had a Super Nintendo. And two, I lived in a time warp.
It's like a third world country.
The place where I grew up was always a few years behind the times, culturally speaking. So, no, I never... By the time the Donkey Kong hype would have gotten to me, we were already on a new console.
Fair enough. Well, the year it came out, this was one of my first games that I got, when it came out. Even Final Fantasy VI, I was late to the party by a year or two. I had rented it a couple of times before I got to it. But, and it came out right around Christmas. I got the video cassette in the mail. I think I still have it somewhere. That was just this hype video from Nintendo for it. And, dude, hook, line, and sinker, they sold me. And my mom came home and she was like, I don't want to ruin Christmas for you or anything. I don't want to, give you the wrong idea, but I also don't want you to get your hopes up for no reason. We just got back from the store. They said they were all sold out of Donkey Kong Country. And I was like, man, I was really looking forward to that. I can't believe, man, alright, well, and you asked, if they had any in the back. Yeah, we asked if they had any in the back, and they were like, oh, I'm sorry, we just sold the last one a couple hours ago. It's like, alright, well, there's all kinds of other good stuff. I was a very optimistic kid. This was before my sister was born, I think. I turned into a shitlord after that. But, so yeah, I went to bed, and, a couple weeks later, I get up on Christmas morning, and I go to the living room where the silver tree was with that weird color wheel flashing on it.
Yep.
And I open up the box, and lo and behold is Donkey Kong Country. And I looked at my mom and was like, you! Because she had a habit of roosting me at this kind of thing. And I was like, Mom, you don't lie. That's a thing about you. You said they were sold out of Donkey Kong Country. She says, yeah, I did. And then we went to another store and bought it.
Which gives you the idea, if you know this lady, that she went to a store where she knew they would be sold out just so she could do this.
Oh, it became a running thing between my mother and I to fuck with each other as far as our Christmas gifts go, or birthday gifts, whatever. I once gave her a tiny little, maybe inch-high jar of jalapenos as a miniature. They were made of clay. Inside an old refrigerator box, which then contained successively smaller boxes. Each of which were wrapped. It was good times. But the other story I wanted to tell about this Donkey Kong Country track is sometimes I will just drum this. There's 3 or 4 songs that I just drum when I'm at work or bored or whatever. And since I knew Boy hadn't played Donkey Kong Country, I was like, hey, listen to this song. And
I went, that's that fucking song you're always drumming. Alright, this is how long he's been doing this. When we first met, we became friends very quickly. He was instrumental in getting me my first real paying gig in terms of jobs. We bonded as friends a lot because we had the same job there. So at the end of the night, when we were wrapping up, we would hang out while the other one was on the clock cleaning or whatever. He would drum this. Then he would drum this a lot as he was like cleaning up or putting away cups or whatever. He would like do it with the cups. And I don't even know if he remembers doing it.
I don't. You know what? Fucking story number 4. Okay. There was a time when I was sitting outside of the video rental place in the town where my dad lives. I was very young, clearly after this game came out, but I was young. I was sitting on the curb, and I was, like, drumming on my Trapper Keeper, and I had this fantasy cooked up in my head. Please save your laughter until the end. I had this fantasy cooked up in my head that some Nintendo executive would walk up to this chintzy video store in wherever the fuck, Ohio, in a town that is not officially a town, it is so small that it's a village, and hear me drumming the song from Donkey Kong and be like, I will give you a job.
Is that the end? Please don't.
That is the end.
Oh, fuck, that's amazing.
And that lasted for about 5 minutes before I went, that's kind of a ridiculous premise.
You were an optimist as a kid, weren't you?
I really was. Yeah, okay, that's enough about Donkey Kong Country. The rest of the game's tracks are really good, too. You should give them a listen. But let's move into the next year, the future, with another Sega Genesis title, Comic Zone. This is the title theme. I'm not going to dwell on Comic Zone too much. I really think it's a cool game. It had a lot of cool ideas. It had a very unique concept. Way too fucking short, but it made up for it by being really fucking hard. If you haven't played it, it is on the Virtual Console. I know this because I bought it there. And this track, because it was one of those games you couldn't come back to, like you couldn't save, there wasn't a password, you had to beat it in one go. I mean, I'd fire this up, and I would hear the title track. It wouldn't be like, go to the password. It wouldn't be like, load my save. It's like, nope, let's go through the title screen again. I played it a lot. It was one of the few games I had on Genesis. Moving into, man, we're almost to your shit. We're creeping up on some of the boy stuff.
It comes soon.
Back to SNES. Back to RPGs. Back to Square Enix. I'm going to be daring and say this track needs no introduction, just to shame those out there who don't know the song. Okay. Yes, I'm that flavor of dick in this very moment. Alright, if you didn't know, that was Frog's theme from Chrono Trigger. That's 1995 as well. It's good. It's a good song and a good game.
Yet another game that I didn't really play, but got to experience as a role-playing game, so I'm pretty happy about it.
Yeah. Let's go to The Boy. Let's get up The Boy song. Boy, why don't you introduce this one for us?
So, this is an amazing song, not only because it's actually pretty good music, but also because a lot of the songs that I actually ended up putting on this list aren't even on the list so much because they remind me of the game, although they probably do. It's a lot of them bring to mind very specific images or times in my life, usually when I first really got into playing the game. I have a lot of cousins. One particular set of my cousins were the ones who introduced me to this particular game. This was far outside my age bracket. But that did not stop me from saving babes as Duke Nukem. This is Duke Nukem 3D. The specific name of the actual track is Grab Bag.
We went through all the Duke Nukem tracks, knowing that one of them would
One of them was Duke Nukem. One of them, because we both had the same song in our heads, but we didn't know what the titles were, so we just went through the OST file on YouTube going, no, click, that's it, that's the one, that's Duke Nukem.
Duke Nukem was an early, I wouldn't say idol, but like, he was cool shit.
Yeah.
And that was like one of the first PC games I really played. I think I also played it on the N64, but eventually I got it for PC. And then I went back and got the original Duke Nukem and Duke Nukem 2, the little side-scrolly ones, and I had a lot of fun with those too.
Well, for me, Duke Nukem, it was like a natural extension, because I had played, like, other games, like, in that same vein. I played Doom and stuff, but Duke Nukem was so fun. It was so fun and taking itself so unseriously.
I saw Doom, and, like, this is the kind of pansy child I was. Scared the shit out of me. Like, before the age of 13, I was like the stereotypical wuss baby child from fiction. I didn't swear. I didn't think untoward thoughts. I was a good kid.
That changed so much.
Yeah, it did.
I have fond childhood memories of Hellraiser 2, if that tells you the difference.
Mortal Kombat was, like, I liked it a lot, but I wasn't allowed to play it. And even if I did play it, I had an SNES, so all the blood was sweat.
Ew.
And I knew how to do the fatalities. Now, speaking of fatalities, probably the first game I played that had lots of fatalities, and I used every one of them, was this one. Most people don't even fucking know this one either. It's called Mace the Dark Age. It was an N64 game, came out in 1997. This is the track from the first stage, if you played through the tournament, Mordos Call's theme. Excuse the shitty quality. Like I said, this game is not well known, so I got what I could. But like, doesn't that get you jazzed to fuck up some people?
Yeah.
Like listener, you've never played this game.
Hey, can we get an HD remake of this game? Games developers,
God.
can I just please?
I sent an email to the developers. I think I want to say it was like Acclaim or Midway or somebody, and I was like, "Please to Mace the Dark Age. I give you the money." I love this game's aesthetic and its atmosphere. I kind of want to do something on the channel for it. Like, I kind of downloaded an emulator and the ROM of Mace the Dark Age, and it works. But I don't want to play it on a keyboard, and I don't know if the PS3 controller will do me justice. But I really like this game, and I want more people to appreciate it because it was really cool. But I'll get into that some other time. We are halfway through our list, listener, and if you're using your eyeballs as well as your earballs, you'll tell that we are at about podcast length. So, I'm thinking, in the name of having future podcasts, I mean keeping things suspenseful, why don't we call it here? Why don't we pick this up maybe next week or the week after and check out more modern video game shit going from 1997 onward.
I like that plan.
Did that float with you, the boy?
I like that plan a lot.
All right, well, ride us out into that long good night.
Listener, everything's better when nerds talk about it.